Hello guys, welcome to this video. So as you can see that in this project what we will do is we will make this website. It's a one-page website and it's a full project. As you can see that's especially for HTML and CSS, so that we can practice our HTML and CSS. So as you can see that it's looking amazing, and as you can see we have these some sections, and also as you can see that our menu have fully functional. And if you notice that in the menu, when I'm in the top, there is no background, that's a transparent background, and when I'm scrolling there is a solid background. So and as you can see that this site is fully responsive. Whenever you are in the mobile it will be like that. So we will see how we can make responsiveness for mobile and also for the tablet. As you can see that's our tablet view, so it will be like that in the tablet. So no matter which device are you on, this site will be perfect for you. So I will show you how you can make this all. And also there is interesting thing, as you can see that's the hamburger. When you come to the tablet or mobile, this hamburger will appear, but when you are in the desktop view, something like that, as you can see that our menu is changed. But whenever I'm in the tablet or mobile, as you can see that this hamburger will appear, and if I click that, we have our menu. And there is interesting thing, as you can see that when I am hover to our menu, there is a background which is dynamically changed by our hover. So when I am hovering projects, the background is changed. Now it is in project, as you can see that. So we will show how we can make all these things in this video, and we will practice our HTML and CSS through this project. And if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe for more video like this one. And no more talk, let's start this video. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to install our code editor. So for the code editor, what we will use is we will use Visual Studio Code, which is a free code editor from Microsoft. So it's one of the best code editor. So what you can do is you can come in this URL, which is code.visualstudio.com. I will also put this link in the description. You can come this page and download the code editor. So it's also available for the Mac, Windows and Linux and other platforms. You can download this and install this code editor. So once you have Visual Studio Code on your machine, what you need to do is let's create a folder for our project. So let's say that one page project or something like that. So in this project, let's have our file, which is first one will be the index.html, and second one will be style.css. And let's also create a folder which will be our images. So it will be img folder. In this folder we will have some image. So let's paste the images. So I will also put all the folder and all the file, so you can practice with that. So you don't need to worry about the images or all the files. You will find it in the description. So once you have ready all the files, what you can do is you can open your Visual Studio Code. So here it is. So we opened our Visual Studio Code, and what we need to do is I need to drag and drop this folder which I created a little moment ago. So if I drag and drop it, so that's it, we have set up all the things. So now we are in our Visual Studio Code, and here as you can see that all of our images here and also our file. So also let's create an extension which we will use. So let's come here in this tab which is extensions, and search for live server. So this is the extension which we will use. So if you are not installed it yet, so you can install it from here. So install live server. So once you are installed this live server, we are ready to go. So let's open our index.html and style.css. So in the index.html file, so first of all, let's create a boilerplate. So in Visual Studio Code, what we have is we have Emmet installed, which is a nice thing. So now what we can do is we can use some shortcut to make our HTML writing process very fast. So like what I can do is I can make exclamation sign and hit enter, which will create this little HTML boilerplate, as you can see. So it's easy to create. What you need to do is you need to make exclamation sign and after that hit tab. So it will create this one. So let's start with this. So in the title, let's give it a title of my website. And after that, let's also link our style sheet. So after that, in the body, let's create our first section, which will be our hero section. So before starting the code, let's also come here and say that it will be h1 of hello world. And if I save, and now what we can do is we can right click and open it with our live server, which will open this HTML file with a live server. As you can see that that's our live server. If you notice the URL, that's a local URL, as you can see. So let's make it a little bit of adjustment. So as you can see that all the adjustment is now ready to go. So that's the live server. So with this live server, what we can have is we will have a live reload. So whenever I will make change in our HTML file or our work file and save, we do not need to come here and refresh. It will make automatically refresh, and as you can see that our file is updated. So that's fine. So let's also open our end file or end project. As you can see that that's will be our end product or project. So let's open it beside our working project so that we can have direction what we need to do and what we need to change. So that's our end file. So let's come to our website and start coding. So here let's remove the HTML of h1. So if I come here in my end file, so first of all what we will create is we will create those section. First one is our hero section, and second is service, and third one is project and about me, and that's what we are going to do. We will create those section first, and in the end we will create this navbar. So we will create this navbar at the end of the video. And first of all, let's create this hero section. So for the hero section, first of all, let's create a comment so that we can find it easily in later. So let's say that hero section, and here it will be our end of hero section. So between these comments we will have our code for our hero section. So for the hero section, let's create a section of ID with a hero. So here what we will have is we will have a div with a class of hero also, and also we will have a container. So as you can see that I'm using Emmet because it's nice to use and it will help you to create HTML faster. So as you can see that what I wrote here earlier, as you can see I wrote div with a hero dot container. So it will create a div with a class of hero and container. So that's easy. So if I hit enter, as you can see that that's create a div with a class of hero and container. So that's what you can write. So it will help you to write your HTML code a little bit of faster. So it's nice to use. So in this div what we will have is we will have another div. And here what we will have, so in this div what we will have h1 of hello, sorry for that, hello, my name is Arfan. And if I save, let's come to our website, and that's our website. As you can see that that's our heading, and as you can see in the end project we have this nice button. So let's also create this button. So here we will have this href and say that it will be type button and class of CTA, call to action. So in this button what we will have is we will have portfolio. So portfolio, and as you can see that that's our button. So let's come to our style.css, and what we need to do is first of all let's remove all the unexpected gap. So let's say that padding will be 0 and margin will be 0 and box sizing will be border box. And as you can see that we removed all the unexpected gap. So after that let's come to the HTML and give it some style. Say that font size will be about 10 pixel and font family, so we will use Montserrat. So let's grab the Montserrat from the Google Fonts. Come here in the Google, search for fonts.google.com. So if you come in fonts.google.com, here you will find some Google fonts which you can use. So let's use Montserrat. So this is Montserrat, and if I select and let's come and customize it. So let's say I will use light, regular and bold. So once you select that or customized, you can import it from here. So let's import, copy this import line, and what we can do is we can paste it in the top of our style.css. Now we can use Montserrat. So let's come here and font family, let's use this Montserrat and also use a fallback font family which will be sans serif. So as you can see that my font is changed. So that's for our HTML. So as you can see that if I make it a little bit of bigger, so as you can see that in this anchor tag we have something underline going on. So let's also give some style for our anchor tag. So in the air, let's say that text decoration will be none, so it will remove this underline. So that's it for our anchor tag. So let's come here in the container. So let's say that mean height will be 100 vh and width will be about 100%, and display will be flex, and align items will be center, and justify content will be center. So if I save now, as you can see that our content is now in center. So that's fine. So let's remove the zoom. As you can see that it's in the center. So if you notice that in my HTML, in the div we have these two sections. First one is the hero and second one is the container. This class, which is container, we will use this class in many section or multiple section. So that's why what we did is we did this container style in the comment section. So let's come here and make our style for hero section. So let's make a hero section class, so comment actually, so end of hero section. So between these comments we will have our style for hero section. So in the hero, let's come here and say that what we need is, so first of all let's grab the ID which is hero ID, and what we need is we need to give it a background image. So it will be something URL. So hero background, as you can see that I already have this image, and as you can see that that's our image in the background. So after that, let's also say that background size will be cover, and also say that background position will be top center, and position of this class will be relative. So if I save, as you can see that that's in place perfectly. So as you can see that we have a position of relative because we will have a overlay of this section. So let's create this overlay. It will be an after pseudo elements, and say that position will be absolute. And if I give it left 0 and top 0, and also say that height will be 100%, and background, not background, width will be 100%. So if I save, and what I need to do is I need to give it a background color of black. So we forget to give it a content because we need it. So as you can see that that's our overlay. As you can see, we can't see our hero section because it's covering the hero section. So what we can do is we can make an opacity of, let's say that 0.7. so it will create this effect which is kind of overlay, so which will help us to create more contrast. But as you can see, now we have this overlay, but so as you can see that we can't click our button because it's under this overlay. So what we can do is we can come here and say that z index of -1, and in the hero section z index of 1. So as you can see that now we can click it and our text is now okay. So that's fine. So also we have an overlay, nice overlay of black. So let's come here in the hero section, and in the h1 let's say that display will be block, and width will be about fit content, and font size of 4 rem, and position will be relative, color will be, let's say that white. So if I save, as you can see that that's our text which is looking fine. So let's come here and style our button. So let's come here in the hero.cta. So let's say that display will be inline block, and let's give it a padding of something like 10 pixel and 30 pixel, and let's give it a color of crimson, and let's also give it a background color of transparent, and border 2 pixel solid crimson. So if I save now, as you can see that that's our button. So let's also make some style for the font size will be 2 rem. So 2 rem, and after that text transform, will be uppercase, and letter spacing will be 0.1 rem, and margin top, let's give it some margin top of 30 pixel, not 20, it will be 30. And here what we need is transition, because we will have a hover effect, not transform. Transition will be 0.3 second is all, not all, it will be only for background color. And if I save now, as you can see that we have this button which is here. So that's fine. And so let's also make a hover for this CTA. So let's come here in the hero, let's say that .ctf. If I hover, what we will change is we will change the color, which will be white, and also background color of crimson. Now if I come here and hover, as you can see that, so that's something glitchy here, which is, as you can see that the transition is for only background color, but we need the transition for also the color. So let's remove this from here, and instead of that, let's say that transition property will be background color, and also for the color background, so it will be nice, as you can see. So also if we want, we can use white color, which will look good, I think. Yeah, that's looking fine. So that's okay for our button. So if I come to the website, as you can see that in the website we have this nice transition of this heading, as you can see that if I refresh. So let's make this one. So if you wanna know more about this effect, I already have a separate video on it, so I will link it in the description. You can check it, how we can make this text reveal effect. So let's make it for our website. So for that, what we need is we need to make this break. So what we need is we need to make h1 for each line. So for the hello, we need separate h1. For the my name is, we need separate h1. For the name, we also need separate h1. So let's make it. So let's remove this h1 and say that we will have this h1, which will be only for hello. And let's make two more, and for the second one we will have my name is, and for the last one feel free to use your name. So Arfan, that's my name. So if I come here, as you can see that that's perfectly looking fine. And what I need is, now I need to make some adjustment in the h1. So as you can see that the red box, as you can see, which is animating, that's an span. So we need to create some span, or we need to create some pseudo elements. So let's make some span here. You can create pseudo elements instead of a span if you want. So let's create a span. So if I have a span in the end of the h1, what we can have now is, so what we need to do is, now in this hero h1, let's come here, let's grab the span. So we will have this span, and what we need is we need to say that position will be absolute. And as you can see that we used absolute here, so we need to make sure that the h1 position is relative. So that's fine. So also say that top will be 0 and left will be 0, and height will be 100%, and width will be 100%, and also say that background color of this span will be crimson, and that's it. If I save, as you can see that that's our box which we need to animate. So let's make the animation. So in the end of our code, let's make a comment. So that will be end of keyframes. So between these comments we will have our keyframes. So let's make first keyframes, which will be our text reveal box. So let's make it text reveal box. So that's red box. So what I need to do is, so in 50%, let's say that width will be 100% and left will be 0, and in 100% width will be 0 and left will be 100%. So that will create the animation. So let's apply it in our span. So let's say that animation will be, the name was text rebel box, and let's say that it will be 1 second and is, if I save, as you can see we are having this. So let's also make some delay. So let's say that animation delay will be 1 second. So as you can see we have an animation delay. So for the initial state we need our span to width 0. So if I came here, so as you can see that it's looking perfectly fine. So the box is working fine. So what we need is, now we need to make sure that we have a nice transition or nice effect in our text. So for the text, let's create another keyframes. So in here let's create another one. So keyframes text reveal, and let's say that for the text what I need is, I need 100%, and if I come 100%, the color will be, let's say that white. So, and in the initial state the color will be transparent instead of white. So if I give it transparent we can't see it, but once we have this animation which is text reveal, and let's give it a 1 second is, and if I save, now as you can see that, and also say that forwards, so that we will have this white color in forward. So as you can see that we also have this text animation which is fine. So what we need to do is, we need to make functional our timing function. So as you can see that our text box is 1 second. So what we need is, we need to make our animation for our text which will be 0.5, and let's say that animation delay will be which will be 1.5 second. So once again, if you want to know more about this, you can watch the full video on this topic. So as you can see that now our animation is looking good. So the last thing what we need is, we need to make it sequentially. First one we will have this hello, second we will have this, thirdly we will have animate our name. So how we can make this animation sequentially? So for that we need to select our h1 separately for 3 times. So here first of all let's come here in the h1 and select separately. So hero h1, let's say that nth child, so that's the first one which is our hello. So let's say that animation delay will be 1 second or 1.5 second, and for the second one, so let me make it 2 more times. So that's for the second, and that's for the third one. For the second one, let's say that we need to increase it 1 more time, and that will be 3. So that's fine. First one, second one, and third one. So let's also select this span 3 more times. So for that what I can do is, I can say is, for the nth child of h1, for the first one we will select this span, and let's say that animation delay will be 1 second, and let's duplicate it 2 more time, and let's say that that's for the 2 and that's for the third one, and let's increase 1 second, so this will be 3 second. So if I save, now as you can see that we have this nice sequence animation. So but I think 1 second delay is too much, so if I make it 3 second, sorry 0.3 second, so we need to change our animation delay from here also. So let's say that 1 second, and here it will be 1 second, and let's make it 2, and here let's make it 3 second, also 0.35 actually not 3, 1.5 and 2.5. so I think that's looking perfect. So we have a mistake, we need to give it a second. So as you can see that we have this sequence animation going on. So for the last thing what we need to do for this section is we need to align this in the left. So for the alignment what we need to do is we need to make some style in our hero class. So let's come here and say that in the hero ID we have also a class of hero, and here what I need is I need to say that max width of 1200 pixel and margin will be 0 auto and padding will be, let's say that 0 and 50 pixel, so we will have a padding, and also say that justify content which will be flex start. So if I come here, yeah, but okay, that's not PC, that will be pixel. So as you can see that it's now in left aligned. Also we have this 50 pixel padding as you can see, and if you notice we have max width of 1200, which will make sure that when we will have a bigger screen, as you can see that our content will remain in 1200 pixel. So it's not coming here, so because we are remaining max width of 1200 pixel, so which is looking perfectly fine. So our first section is looking fine, so that's looking fine. So as you can see that in the desktop version of our website we have smaller font. We need to increase our font size for our desktop, for our tablet, so we will do it in the later of this video. So for now what we will do, we will create the website for our mobile first design. So after that we will make it responsive with media query, so you don't need to worry about it. So one more thing, as you can see that we have a different color of our name which is Arfan. So if you want to have this in this color change, what we can do is we can come here in the keyframes. As you can see that that's the white color which is controlling this color, so we can duplicate it, make a new one and name it for the name, so that the name will be text reveal name, and for this one I will have a color of crimson, and also say that font weight will be 500 pixel or 500. So if I apply this one in our third one, so if I come here where it is, so that's our third one. So let's come here and say that animation will be, we changed the animation name, so which is text reveal name, and it will be same 0.5 second is and forwards. So let's see. So as you can see that it's looking much better, as you can see that in the screen. So perfectly fine, and let's go to our next section. So for the next section we have the service section, as you can see that. So let's make the service section. So let's come here, so let's come to the HTML, and first of all let's create the comment. So service section, and also duplicate, and let's name it end of service section, and between these comments we will have a code for our service section. So first thing, section, we will have a section with the ID of services, and in that we will have a div with a class of services, and as you know container, because we will use this container over and over in every section. So that's why as you can see we have this container and we style it in the common. So as you can see that in the service section we can separate this service section by two div. As you can see that in the top we have this heading, and in the bottom we have these services. As you can see that for now we used demo thing. So as you can see that we have this 4 service section. So we can separate this full section with the 2 div. First one will be the header and second one will be our services cards. So let's come here and say that div will be, or what I can do is I can say that top or service top, and also let's say that service bottom, so that we can easily understand it. And in the service top we will have this heading. So in the service top let's have a h1, so which will have a class of section title. And also as you can see that that's the section, or that's the style for our all section title. So that's the same style as you can see that here and there. So that's why we are using this class, so that we can apply same style in every heading. So we don't need to style each and every one. We will style one only and apply this style with this class to other. So here let's say that our service or services. So as you can see that in the end result we have this eye with a color of crimson. So if you want this effect, so what you need to do is you need to make or wrap it with a span. So if I make a span, and in this span I will have this eye. So also make sure that you remove the space. So that's fine now. So let's also have some paragraph here. So in the paragraph let's copy this one, and if I remove it, so if I save it, as you can see, if I come here in our website, so that's our service title and that's our paragraph. So also make the cards here. As you can see that we have these 4 cards, and so let's make it. So in the service bottom let's have a div with a class of service item. So that's the item. So for each item what we have is we have an icon, we have a text of heading or title, or we have some paragraph. So 3 things as you can see that for each card. So first of all let's deal with this icon. So for the icon let's first of all grab this icon. So where I can grab this icon or I can find this icon. So for this icon what we need to do is we need to go to a website which is Iconate. So that's the website. So if I come here I will link it in the description. So you will find this link which is icons8.com, and here you will find all the icon, and there are so many icon and so many creative icon actually which you can use in your project. So if I search for home, so as you can see that there are so many home icon which you can use. So for the use what you can do is you can click the icon, and also you can color it if you want. Let's say that I want this color, you can color the icon, and once you are done what you need to do is you need to download it. And as you can see that they have SVG, they have PDF, so anything you want, so you need to download it. And also they have a option for embed HTML. So for the embed what you can do is you can come here and you can embed this SVG, or if you want to download the PNG, so you can embed it. So for now what we will do is we will embed it. So as you can see that for the embed what I need to do is I need to come here and the embed HTML. So I need to grab this image, or if I copy, so you can see that copied, and if I come here and if I paste it here, so as you can see that that's our embed code. Actually that's an image. So if I save in my website we have this icon. So that's how we can add these icons in our website. Also you can download it and add it manually if you want. So for now let's come here. So that's where we can find our icon, but I already find, or I already selected icon, so I will use it directly. So I will not come here and each time when I need icon, because I already selected all my icon with this image. So for you, what you need to do is you need to come here and select your icon and embed HTML, or you need to download it. So for this icon, what we need is, so for the first one, we will have a div first of all, so that we can wrap it with a class of icon. So in this div we will have our embed image. So let's copy the image, because I already selected and copied it. So as you can see that that's the embed image. So as you can see that that's the image which is I got from the icon 8 website. So the process I showed you need to follow, or you can use the image as you can see that. So once if you here and if I save, as you can see that I have this icon here. So that's fine. So after this icon, what we will have, as you can see that we have this title. So let's come here. So after this icon, let's have a h2 of web design. So for now we are using some demo. So as you can see that for the 4 service we are using same title, which is web design. So you can change it, so that's not a big deal. So here let's come here and say some text. Let me copy the paragraph and paste it here. So that's our first card, as you can see that here. That's our icon, that's our title, that's our paragraph. So once we have finished our card, so let me duplicate this service item, because we will need to create more service. So as you can see that that's our service item. So if I duplicate it 2 more time or 1 more time, so we will have these 4, as you can see that 4 service section. So that's for our HTML. So let's come to the style.css. So in the style, first of all let's create our, you know what I need to create. First of all let's create the comment services section, and also end of service section, and between this comment we will have a style of our service section. So let's say that service, and in the service says we will have a class of service, and here let's say that flex direction. So by default, as you can see that that's have a style already, because we have a container which is used here. As you can see that in the services we use this container class, and in the earlier we used this container and made some style. So that's why this style is applying this section. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that in this container we have this flex direction. As you can see that by default it's row. What I need to do is I need to make it flex direction column. So what I can do is I need to come here in the services, flex direction will be column. So as you can see that will be services, not service. So as you can see that now it's working fine. So our title is now in the top and our cards is now in the bottom. So as you can see, that's the services which we are overwriting this container style, as you can see. So that's why we used 2 classes in this div, so that we can overwrite this container style if you want in the service section. So that's the idea. So once we are happy, now what I can do is I need to say that text align will be center. So as you can see that we have this aligned center, and also come here and say that max width of about 1500 pixel and margin 0 auto. So and also say that padding will be about 100 pixel for the top and bottom and 0, so that we can have some space in the top and bottom. So that's looking fine. So after that, let's style our section heading, which is services. So let's come here and say that services, we have a id, so we have a class for this, so which is section title. And if I come here and say that font size of 4 and font weight will be a lightweight, which is 300, and color will be white, and margin bottom will be, let's say that something about 10 pixel, and also text transform will be uppercase, and letter spacing will be 0.2 rem. So we will have a letter spacing, also text align center. So as you can see that our heading, which is now white, so why white, so we need to make it black. So that's our section heading, which is looking fine. So if you notice in our end result, so we have this eye which is color crimson. So for that, what we did is earlier we wrap it with a S pen. So now we can style the S pen. So what I can say is, I can say this services and dot section dot title, and if I have any S pen in this title, what I need to do is I need to make the color crimson. So as you can see that I have this S pen only in this section title, so this will make this color which is crimson. So that's looking fine. So after that, let's do some style for our paragraph. So for the paragraph, as you can see that we have this style. So let's come here in the paragraph. So we need to make a proper selection. So services, and here we have a, so in the services, let's say that we will have a column. Let me make sure, what is it, service top. Okay, service top, and in the service top we will have this paragraph. So let's come here and say that in this paragraph font size will be 1.4 em, and margin top will be 5 pixel, and line height of 2.5 rem. Actually we will have 2.5 rem of line height. Font weight will be 300 pixel, and letter spacing will be 0.05 rem. Now as you can see that that's our paragraph, but if you notice we have a pixel, so we don't need a pixel in the font weight. So as you can see that that's working perfectly fine now. So that's okay for our service heading, which is our title and this paragraph. So now let's style our cards. First of all, come here and say that in the services we have a class of div. What was that? We have this service bottom. So service bottom, and here let's make some style. So let's say that. So now as you can see that that's fine. So in the bottom, what I need to do is I need to say that display will be flags, and align items will be center, and justify content will be centered. So that's what we need is, and also make sure that flags wrap will be wrap. So that's fine. So as you can see that there is not much change happened. So let's come here and select individual service item. So let's come here in the services. Let's say that service item, and what I need to do is I need to say that flex basis which will make a width of every item. So let's say that flex basis will be 80%. So as you can see that we have 80% of width only. And also come here and say that our display will be flex, and align items will be flex start. So align items will be flex start, and justify content will be center, and flex direction which will be column, and also make some padding so that we have some room. So 30 pixel will be good, and border radius of 10 pixel. Also make a background image. We have a background image, so URL. So if I come here and say that in the URL image, which will be image 1, and also image size, so background size will be cover, and also margin. So make sure that we have some margin of something like 10 pixel or 5 pixel, 5% for the left and right. So if I save, as you can see that that's our section card. As you can see that each card have a background color, so not background color, that's a background image which I give here, and we have this border radius which is 10 pixel. We have margin about 30 pixel. We have this margin, so not margin, that's a padding in the. So as you can see that we have 30 pixel padding, and we have margin here, as you can see. Also the content in this card is now in flex, as you can see that. So what I need to do is I need to make a overlay of each and every card so that we can have much contrast. So to make the overlay, what I need to do is I need to say that services, and in the service item I will make a after pseudo elements. So make sure that content is nothing, and let's say that position will be absolute, and also say that left will be 0 and top will be 0, height will be 100%, and width will be 100%. And if I give it, so let's make it a background color so that we can see. Let's say that not white, that will be black. So it's not working because we need to give our item position of relative. So as you can see that it's working perfectly fine. So let's also decrease the opacity. So let's say that opacity will be 0.4 or 0.8. So that's fine. So also you can see that we can't see our text, so let's make sure that our text is visible. So for that, z index -1 in the after, and z index 1 in the item. So it will make sure that our text is now visible if I give it a color of white, and as you can see that if you notice the icon which is now fixed and it is visible. So that's fine, as you can see that. So make sure that I have a background color, nice background color. So let me copy the background. So instead of white, so instead of this black background color, what I will have a nice gradient. So if I save, as you can see that we have the nice gradient. So that's fine. So also let's come here in the service. So in the column right, we have this icon. So let's say that height will be about 80 pixel, and width will be 80 pixel. Border radius will be 50%. We don't need it. So after that, let's say that margin bottom will be 20 pixel. So we will have some space, as you can see that. So if you notice, we can't see any change in the icon, because what we need to do is I need to say that, sorry, that will be our ID of services call right. I have an icon. In this icon I have image. So if I say that height will be 100% and width will be 100%, now as you can see that is changed. And also say that object feet will be cover. Now if I change the size, each will change it. So if I give it 50% or 50 pixel, now as you can see, okay, it's not working because we have a call right. It's not call right, it will be service bottom. Sorry, that's my fault. Service bottom. So as you can see that that's our small icon. So if I give it 80 pixel, it will be perfect. So what I need to do is, so let's say that the image style which we will need for each and every image. So for that, what I can do is I can make it in the common. So let's make it in the common, because I need this style in each and every image. So for that, what I can say that for the every image, no matter where it is, for the every image I need to have height 100% with 100% and object feet cover. So it will make sure every image have a nice size of its parent. So that's fine. So also let's come here and grab this h2. So for the h2, let's come here and say that services and service item, and in the service item what we will have is we will have this h2, and let's say that font size of about 2 rem, and also make sure that we have a color of white so that we can see it properly. So margin will be about, so let's say that margin bottom only. So we have some space with the paragraph. So text transform will be uppercase. So now as you can see that that's our title, and also we have this 10 pixel margin bottom. So let's also grab the paragraph, and here what I need to do is I need to say that color will be white, because we also need to see the paragraph, and also say that text align will be left, and also make sure that font size will be 1.4 rem and line height of about 1.9 rem. So which is looking fine, as you can see that. So as you can see our paragraph which we are using so many times. So let's also say that we need to make the style for our paragraph in the common, so that we will have automatically this style for every time when we will create paragraph. So for the paragraph, let's also make a common style. So here let's paste it. So if anywhere we have a paragraph, we will apply this style automatically. So we don't need to come and every time when we have a paragraph, because in each paragraph we will have basically same style. So as you can see that that's an issue, because that's an white paragraph. If I give the same color paragraph in the heading, it will be not able to see. So let's change it. So we can overwrite it here. So as you can see, that's our service top paragraph. We don't need anything here, or we need to say that color will be black. So as you can see that we are able to see, and also make sure that, let me copy. So let's say that this will be our common style for the paragraph instead of the previous one. So if I come here and remove this and paste it, so that's fine. As you can see that, so black is fine. So whenever we need, we can change it to the white. So if I come here and the service paragraph, we can make it white if we want. So services, so let's say that services dot service bottom or service item, we have a paragraph, and if I need this, I need to make the color of this paragraph which will be white. So as you can see that if you want, so it's not working. Why it's not working? So service item, services. So as you can see that I made a mistake. So as you can see that it's working. Also say that text align will be left. So it's now in left. So it's working perfectly fine. So if you notice, now we don't have our border radius, though if you notice that in the service item we give a border radius of 10 pixel. So it's not working because we need to make sure that we will have a overflow hidden here. So that's, we'll make sure that everything will be fine. As you can see that now we have back this border radius. So as you can see that the card is looking much better now, and make sure that we have a nice gap. So let's come here in the service bottom and let's give it a margin top of 50 pixel so that we have some gap here. So as you can see that it's looking perfect. We don't need this. So it's looking perfect. We perfectly finished our second section, which is services. So let's go to the third section, which is recent projects. So for the third section, let's come to the HTML, and first of all, you know what to do. We need to make a comment which will say projects section, end of service section, and between this comment we will have code for our service. So not service, that's our project actually. So first of all, let's have a section with the ID of about projects. So let's give it the ID of projects. Projects, if I can spell. And in here, as you know, we have a div with a class of projects also. And also we will have a class which is container, which will make sure that it will have 100% of height, and it will give some initial style. So in this container, what we will have is we will have two section or two div. First div is only for this heading, and second div we will have our service. As you can see that, not service, I am still talking service, that is projects. So for the first div we will have this heading, and for the second div we will have all our projects. So let's create two div which will be project headers, projects header, and we will have also second div which will be projects. So let's say that all projects will be here. So all projects. So for the projects header we will have a h1, which we will have a section title class, because if you remember we make this section title class in our service 2, so that we will have similar kind of a style by automatically. So let's come here and say that service, not service. Why I am saying service again and again. Recent projects, projects. So if you notice, as you can see that the project which is crimson color. So if you want this, what you need to do is you need to make sure that the project is wrapped with S Pen. So let's make S Pen and wrap our projects. So it will make sure that it will have this color. So that's fine. So after that, let's make our cards for our project 1 on project 5. We will have how many projects? We will have 5 projects, I think. Yeah. So let's make 5 cards. So in all projects, what I need to do is I need to make sure that we will have a div with a class of project item. So project item. So each item we will have a title, we will have a subtitle, we have paragraph, and we have an image. So there are so many things going on. So in the each item we will divide this thing in 2 parts. In the first part we have info, and second part we have image. So for the first part, let's make a div with a class of, so come here and let's make a div with a class of project info. Project info. And in the project info we will have our h1 and our subheading and our title. And also let's make sure that we will have another class which will have is project image. So make sure we have 2 div in each project item. So in the project info, let's create a h1 which will have project number 1, not top. So also let's make h2 which will say coding is love. Coding is love. And also make sure that we have some paragraph. And in the image, what I need is I need to put an image. So in the image source, what I will have, I'll have image 1. So that's an demo image. So for the alternative we will have img. So that's fine for one card. So as you can see that we have 5 projects. So let's copy this project item. So as you can see, that's our project item. So let's copy this whole div 4 more time. So we have 1 2 3 4 5. So now we have 5 card, as you can see. So let's say that the last one will be 5, this one will be 4, and this one will be 3. Yeah, 3, and this one will be second one. So if I save and if I come here, as you can see that we have these 5 projects going on here, and we have this our projects title. So if I come here in our style, if you remember that I made a style already for our section title. If I come here, if I come here in the section title, as you can see that I made this. So what I need to do is I need to make it common, so that whenever I use the class section title, it will apply the style for it. So what I need to do is I need to remove this service. We don't want this specifically for the service. I want this anytime when I call this. So we don't need this selection of ID anymore. So if I now save, so as you can see that now it is in common. So if it is in common, we will have this style in our also projects, as you can see that. So that's looking fine. So let's start styling for our projects. So after end of service section, so let's start our project section. So projects section, end of projects. So end of projects. So between them, let's style. So first of all, projects, and we have a class of projects also. And here what I need to do is I need to make sure that the flex direction is column. Now as you can see that the flex direction is column, and our what is it, and our title is in top. So perfect. So also make sure that max width will be 1200 pixel, and also make sure that it's in that middle, so margin 0 auto, and also make sure that we have a padding of about 100 pixel from the top and bottom. So as you can see that that's working perfectly fine. So let's come here in the heading, so projects, and we have a project header. What is it, project header or project header? Project header. Okay, projects header, and in here we have h1, and let's say that margin bottom of, let's make it 50 pixel. So as you can see that we have 50 pixel gap, and also come here to the all projects, so projects, all projects, and here what I need to do is I need to say that display will be flex and align items. So as you can see the display will be flex and align items will be center, and justify content will be also center, and flex direction which will be column. So that's looking fine. As you can see that it's also in column. So after that let's come here in the projects item, so projects and projects item. So for the each item what I need to say that I need to display it flex, and I need to say that, so I need to make sure that align items is center and justify content is center and flex direction is column. Yeah, and also make sure that we have a width of 80%, and also make sure margin, we have margin of 20 pixel and auto, so that we have gaps, and overflow will be hidden, and make sure that we have a border radius so that it looks smooth. So border radius 10 pixel will be good, so we can't see it anything because it's not project item, it's project item. Yeah, project item. So it's looking perfect. As you can see that the width is 80%, we have 20 pixel bottom here, bottom margin, and we have border radius, as you can see that here in the bottom and in the top. If I give it a background, if you can see, so I will give it a background, don't worry. So it's looking perfect. So what I need to do is now let's come here in the paragraph. So first of all we need to make sure about this h1. So come here in the projects, and project info. Ingo, not Ingo, it will be info. So make sure that we have a padding of 30 pixel here in the content, and also let's say that flex basis will be 50%, and background color will be white. And let's come here and say that height will be about 100%, and display will be flex, align items will be center, not center, make sure that left align so that flex start. So justify content will be center and flex direction will be column. And background color, let's give it a background color of not white. I don't need background color of white. Make sure that I have a background color of something good looking, some background color of this one. So that's an hexacode. So as you can see, we have this color. It's not looking good. I think we should use this color. Okay, I have the gradient color. Okay, let me copy and make sure that instead of background I will use a background image because the gradient. So let me paste the gradient here. Also make sure that our project's color is white. So as you can see that the color is white and the background is our gradient color which I give here. And as you can see that our paragraph having a style, but it's black. As you know that we made a common style in the top which is color black. We can overwrite it, we can make it white. So after that what I need to do is, let's come to this H1. So for that what I need to do is, I need to come to the projects, and in the projects, in the project info, in this H1 what I will need is, I will need to say font family will be Montserrat. We don't need to do it. I need to say that font size only 4 rem, not 2 rem, and font weight will be about 500, which will be regular. So as you can see that that's our project, so that's fine. So after that let's go to the H2, which is coding slab. So projects and project info, and we have this H2. So let's come here and say that font size will be about 1.8 rem, not rem. So font weight will be 500 as our title, so 500. And also make sure that I have a space in top, so margin top will be 10 pixel. So as you can see that I have little bit more. I think it will be 300 good. What do you say? Sorry, as you can see that will be font weight. So that's looking fine. I think instead of 500 or 500 is good. Yeah, good. So after that let's also say that our color for the paragraph will be white, not black. So instead of P, let's select paragraph, and here let's say that color will be white, and it's looking good. So let's also make resize of this div, which is our image. So come here in the projects, and we have a div with a project image, and here what I need to do is, I need to say that flex basis will be 50% and height will be about 300 pixel, and make it a overflow hidden. So as you can see that we have resized our div. So after that, if you notice that if you hover, we have a nice transition of this image, and also if you notice we have a black overlay in this image. So let's make those things. So for the overlay, as you know what I need to do, I need to make a pseudo elements after. So make sure that content is nothing and position is absolute, left is 0 and top is 0, and height will be 100% and width will be 100%, and also background color of, for now let's say that black, we will change it, and if I give the position of our image relative, it will work. So as you can see that it's now 100% black. So I don't need 100% black. I need to say that the opacity will be about 0.7. So as you can see, but we don't need black color. So instead of black color, I will use the same gradient which we used here. So let me paste it here. That's the same. So as you can see that it's looking much better. So also what I can do is I can make this transition of this image when I hover over it. So we can do it easily. So what I need to do is I need to save. If I select project, so if I hover project, I need to grab the image. So in the project image, so project image, I have this image, and I need to say that the transform, it will be translate scale. So a scale will be 1.1. So if I save it, not that, this one, so it's not working. Okay, as you can see that I have a mistake. It will be projects, so not projects. What I'm doing, so under the projects we have each item, so which is projects item. So if I hover any item, it will do the hover effect. So if I save, now as you can see that we have this hover effect for every projects, but it's doing so fast. We need to make it slowly or looking much smoothness. So for that, what I need to do is I need to come here and in the projects, if I can spell project image, I need to select the image and say that transition will be 0.3 second is and only from transform. Now it will have a smooth transition. As you can see that it's looking fine. So that's for our projects, it's looking fine. So we finished our projects. As we can see that it's looking perfect. So now let's make our about me section. So let's come to the HTML, and here let's make first of all let's make some comments about section, also duplicate end of about section. And here first of all let's have a section with an ID of about. Okay, in this about I will have a div with a class of about, so about, and also have a container class. So in this div let's have another div. As you can see that in our end result there are two parts. So the first part, which is this one, which is the heading and the text, so this will be our left, and this image which will be our right side. So we will name this div, which is first one, we will name it column left, and also we will have another one which will be our column right. So in the left, what I need is I need a div. So if I make it bigger, as you can see that, so as you can see in the left we have this image, and in the right we have about me info, which is heading about me and some other things. So these two parts, as you can see in the left we have image, so let's make it in the left we will have our image. So in here let's have another div which will be about img, so about image. So here I will have our image which is about image, and here I'll have this img alternative. And in the right side, so in the column right, what I need is I need as h1, which will have a class also. So as you know, the class is section title, and also let's have an about here. And also, as you can see that if I come here where it is the me, which is red color or crimson color, as you can see. So for that, what I need is we need a span and wrap it with a span. So if I make it like that, it should be perfect. So in the h2, what I need is I need to say that front end development or developer. Okay, and we will need a paragraph. So let me copy the paragraph here, and that's the paragraph what we need. So after that, we need this button, which is an anchor tag. So if I come here and anchor tag, and here what I need to say is download resume. So download resume. So that's fine, and that's our end of our about section. So that's what we need. So if I save now and come, not that, if I save now and come to our website, make a refresh. So as you can see that that's our about me section where everything is kind of messing out. So let's make it and style it perfectly. So in the style here, after end of project, so let's have a comment for our about section, and also make end of about section. And here first of all, let's grab the about class. So about, so here let's say that flex direction will be about column. So as you can see that noticed our image, which is now in left side, but as you know we are designing the mobile design first, but in the mobile the image in the bottom. So for that, what we need is we need to make it column reverse so that it reverses the column. So column reverse, and if I make it, so as you can see that the image is bottom and the heading and other thing is in the top, so which is perfectly fine. And also say that text align, which will be center, and also max width of about 1200 pixel and margin 0 auto. Also make a padding some about 100 pixel and 20 pixel. So if I save, it will be fine. As you can see that we have some padding in the top and also left and right. So after that, let's grab our column left, which is actually the image section. So width will be about, let's say that 250 pixel. So height will be about 360 pixel. And if I save, as you can see that that's resized our image. So also let's come here in the about and let's grab our column right. So column right, call right, which will be actually width of 100%. And also let's come here in the about, let's grab the column right and grab the h2, which is actually this one, front end development. So make it some style. So here what I need is I need to say that font size of about 2.5 rem. Let's test it out. So that's too much big. 0.5, that's too much. 1.5 actually. So 1.5 is good, not bad. Also say that font weight of 500, and also make some increasement. So also make some increase here, so it will look good, I think. And also say that letter spacing will be 1.2 rem. Yeah, 0.2 rem actually. So that's fine. And also make some margin bottom So margin bottom, which will be about 10 pixel. So that's fine. As you can see that everything is going well. So also, as you can see that that's our paragraph, but we have not a space between paragraph and this button. So let's first of all make some space here. So if I copy that, and instead of h2, let's select our paragraph and say that margin bottom will be about 20 pixel, and that's fine. As you can see that we have now much better view. So also style that. So as you can see that that's our button, but if you remember, we already have a styled a button in our CTA here in the hero section. We can apply the same style. So for that, what I need to do is I need to come to the hero, and if you remember, it is the CTA which is giving the style of this button. So if I crop that here or cut it from there, and here let's say that instead of grabbing it from the hero, I will grab it from anywhere. So whenever I will have a CTA class, it will give this style. So make sure that your button, which is the about me, have also a class. So the class will be CTA. So if I come to my about section, as you can see that that's our button, but if you notice that the button text is now white, so we can't see it. So for that, what we need is we need to make it crimson. So we can do it easily. So I'm here about call right or CTA, we can grab it directly. Or what I can do is I can say the color of this CTA will be black. Now as you can see that it's looking fine. Also let's make some margin bottom. Margin bottom will be about 30 pixel, or what you say, 50 pixel. Let's make some more. Yeah, 50 pixel is good looking. So it's looking fine. As you can see that that's our button for resume. Or you can make changes. Let's say that I need the padding will be about 10 pixel and 20 pixel, and also make sure that I have a smaller font size of 20 pixel or 2 rem. So it's looking much better, I think. So now let's come to this section, which is our image. So first of all, come here in the about and call left and about img. So that's the about img, what is the wrapper of our image. So here what I need to do is, so if I come here, as you can see that I have a border kind of thing. So what I need to do is I need to make it with our pseudo elements of this image. So let's create a pseudo elements. So after, if I come here, not after, actually img image after. Okay, so if I come here and let's say that the content will be nothing and position will be absolute, and also left will be about, let's say that minus 33 pixel, and top will be 19 pixel, and height will be, let's say that 98%, and width will be 98% also, and let's give it a border. So border will be 7 pixel, solid and crimson. So if I save, if I come to my site, we can't see it because I need to make the image position relative. So okay, I don't need, so there is a mistake. I don't need to make it for the image, I need to make the image wrapper. So as you can see that our sword elements is now on this wrapper. So what I need to do is I need to say that z index of -1, so that it will be under this image, as you can see. But so if you notice that we have a little gap here going, so how we can make this gap? So it's very easy. So for that, what I need to do is I need to come to the image, and let's say that border will be 10 pixel solid and white. If I give it a white border, and if I come here, as you can see that we also have this. But if you notice, as you can see that we have something issue here. So for that, what I need to do is I need to say that height will be 100% and width will be 100%. So as you can see that it's removed the gap, it's removed the issue. So that's fine, looking good. So the about me section is kind of done, as you can see that. So after this one, as you can see, it's looking similar. We have this, or we can make the, I think our h2 is looking better. Yeah, that's looking better. So after that, what we have this contact info section, where we have these three sections which have a nice hover effect. So let's make, so also as you can see that we have this icon which we can grab from the icon8.com. so I'll put the link in the description. You can go to the website and grab your own icon. So that's fine. So let's come to the HTML and grab our code for the contact section. So let's make the contact section. Contact section. And here what I need is end of contact section. And here let's say that first of all make a section with an ID of contact, and also in this ID what I need is I need a div with a class of contact and also a class of container. So and here what I need is I need a div, and also in this div I have a h1. As you can see that in this contact section we can divide it with two div. First one is the heading and second one is the all three cards. So we will have these two div. As you can see that first one will be our h1, and for the second one we will have these cards. So for the first one we will have this h1, and here we will have also class which is section title, so that we don't need to style it, it's already styled in section class. And here what I will say that contact info, and if you notice that our info is colored by crimson, so what I can do, I can wrap it with the S Pen, so it will make the effect. Now if I save and come here, as you can see that it's looking perfect. Contact info. So in this div where our card will be, so what I need is I need to make a class in this div. The class will be contact items, and here we will have our every item. So for the first one, so that we have, so for the first one we will have contact item. So you need to be careful, it's contact items and each one will be contact item, so you need to be careful about it, the class. And here what we have, for the each contact item we have a icon, we have a heading and info. So that's it. So for the each contact item what I have a div with a class of icon. So here what I will have my icon, which you will find from the icon 8. So I just paste it here. So also what I need to make another div which we will have the class of contact, info. Contact info means this heading and this information together we are giving it a div we have contact info. So for the each item, so here I will have this h1 which will have, for the first one we will have phone, and let's make some phone number. So let me copy that and let me copy this whole item of div. So as you can see that that's our contact item. So as you can see we have three contact item, so I need to copy it two more time. So for the second one what I need to do, I need to change the name which will be email, and also let's change the image of icon. So as you can see that that's our image for the second one. And also what I need is I need to change the number into the mail. And also what I need to do is I need to make the third one address. And also let's say that I wanna change the image also because it's the icon, this icon. Okay, so for the icon let's change the image. So once again, which you will find it from the icon8.com. so I will put the link in the description, don't worry. So also let's give it the address instead of the phone number because it will not make any sense. So as you can see that our information is in perfect place, but we need to make it style a little bit more. So the end of our HTML is here, and let's come to the style.css, and here let's create our comment for the contact section, and also let's say that it will be end of contact section. So first of all what I need is contact and contact. Let's make the flex direction of column. So as you can see that now everything is in column, and after that let's say that max width will be 1200 pixel, and also margin 0 auto. So that's fine. So after that let's come to the items, contact items. We have all the our item in this div which is contact items. Okay, so let's come here and let's say that contact and contact items, and what I need is width will be 80%, and also say that padding will be 20 pixel, not 80%. Let's say that we'll have 100%. So that's fine. So let's say that come here each item. So in the each item what I need is I need to make sure that width will be 80% for the mobile, of course. So padding will be 20 pixel, and text align will be center, and border radius will be about 10 pixel, and also let's have some padding of 30 pixel and margin of also 30 pixel, and justify content will be center. Also let's give it a display flags first of all, and align items center, center, and box shadow, let's give it a box shadow of 0 pixel, 0 pixel, and 18 pixel, 0. And let me copy the color which is a blackish color. with a little bit of opacity, not much opacity here. So as you can see that we have some opacity of shadow, so that's looking fine. So also if you notice that we have a 30 pixel of padding and 30 pixel of margin, as you can see that, and also we have this box shadow. And if you notice that our content is now in flex direction, so also if you can see that everything is perfectly fine, but what I need is I need to make sure that it will be like that. So it's not looking good for now. So to make it like that, what I need to do is I need to make sure that our div is in flex direction column. So if I say that flex direction will be column, so that's kind of looking good, as you can see that. So after that, let's come to the icon. So contact and icon, here let's say that width will be about 70 pixel and margin 0 auto, and margin bottom I need something about, let's say 10 pixel. So as you can see that that's much smaller, and we have the 70 pixel margin bottom. And also let's style our h1. So for the contact info, we have this h1. It is info or contact info? It is contact info. Okay, contact info. So that's fine. As you can see in the h1, what I need is font size of about 2.5 rem, and also what I need is font weight of about 500 and margin bottom about 5 pixel. So that's what I need for the h1. So it's looking fine. So let's grab the h2. So for the h2, let's say that font size will be about 1.3 rem and line height of about 2 rem and font weight of 500. So if I save now, as you can see that it's looking fine, the font. So as you can see that it's looking fine. So here if I need to make it smaller like this one, so we need to make a width of these items. So for the items, let's say that instead of 100%, I'll have it about, let's make it 300 pixel. So as you can see that we have 300 pixel or something 400 pixel will be look good, I think. Yeah, it's looking good, 400 pixel. Yeah. So also let's make the hover effects, which is, as you can see that here, so it's an hover effect with our box shadow. So here what I need to do is, as you can see that in the each item we have this box shadow. So I will make a hover effect of each item. So if I make a hover effect, and here I will say that box shadow will be 0 pixel, 0 pixel, and also 5 pixel. Let's decrease the spread and also make sure that the color is the same. So as you can see that our hover effect is working, but it's kind of quickly, it's not smooth. So for that, what I need to do is I need to make a transition of 0.3 second is, and for the box shadow. And now if you can see that we have this nice going on effect. So it's looking perfectly fine, as you can see that. If you want, you can make the change of this number. So after that, what I need to do is I need to make what I need to make our this little footer, which you can see that in the bottom. So let's make this footer the last section. So let's come to the HTML and let's make this footer. So after end of contact, let's make the footer. And the footer. And here let's have a section with an ID of footer, and also have a div with a class of footer, and also have a container. And here what I need is I will have a div with a class of brand, and as you can see that in the brand I will have my name. So as you can see that in the name, in the first letter, which is crimson color. So for that, what I need to do is I need to wrap this character or letter only with S pen. So for the H1, so in the H1 I will have my name, and specifically what I need is I need to make sure that I wrap span the first letter. Also let's remove this gap. So also here let's wrap the span with this A. So fine. So as you can see that that's my name, and I just wrapped this first letter with the span. So after that what we have is we have this, so this subheading. So let's make H2 and let's paste the text, and after that we have social icons. So let's have a div with a class of social icon. Social icon, and in this div I'll have another div of social item, and in each item we will have an icon. So here let's say that we will have an anchor tag because I want this to be clickable. So I will have this anchor tag where I will put my link. So for now let's use demo hash, and here what I need is I need to put my icon. So once again you can find this icon from the iconsite.com. if you come this website and search for your icon, and if you found this your icon, what you can do is you can click this. If I make it bigger and embed HTML, you can find this img tag, as you can see that, or you can download it and add it in your website. So I just do it previously, so I do not need to come and go here. So that's fine for the first one, as you can see that. So let's copy this item and make it 2 more time, 3 time I think. How much we have 4, yeah. So for the second one, which is our Instagram, so let me copy the image for this one. So that's the image, and replace it for the third one. So it's looking perfectly fine, as you can see that. So after that what I need is we need a copyright text, as you can see that. So what I will do, I will come here. So after this social icon div I will have my paragraph which will say copyright. So let me copy this text from here, paste it here. So that's my copyright text. So if I may come to my site, as you can see that that's all our content. So let's style this. So let's come to the style.css and make our style for the footer. So here, so footer, and also end of footer. And here what I need is in the footer ID I will have a background color. So let me copy the gradient color which I already used in the menu section. So if I save, as you can see that that's the gradient color, so which we are using here. So as you can see that that's 100 VH. We need to decrease the size of height. As you can see that that's too much. So let's come to the footer and footer class which is controlling this height. So let's say that mean height will be 200 pixel only. So as you can see that that's 200 pixel mean height. So also let's say that flex direction will be column and padding top will be 50 pixel and padding bottom will be 10 pixel. So if it will look good, as you can see that. So after that let's come to the H2, which is this one. So before that, as you can see that we have this H1 which is our brand, and if you notice that our brand and our heading brand is same styled. So if you can see that this one and this one styled pretty much same. So what I can do is I can style this one in the command so that I can place the style also here. So let's come to the command. Before this heading I need to come here and say that brand. So whenever I will have this brand, I will have this style. So font size about, let's say that font size of 3M, and also text transform will be uppercase, and also say that color will be white. So if you now see that that's our white, and also make sure that the S pen is colored crimson. Now as you can see that we have the first letter is nice looking. So that's fine, as you can see that here and there. So after that what I need to come back my footer, and here what I need to do is I need to grab my H2. So let's grab the footer H2 and make some style. Let's say that color will be white, and also font weight will be 500, and font size will be about 1.8 rem, and also letter spacing about 0.1 rem, and margin top will be 10 pixel, and margin bottom about 10 pixel. That's fine. As you can see that that's our subheading, your complete web solution. And now let's come to the icon and make them flex. So let's come here and say that in the footer social icon, make sure that display flex, and make some margin bottom 30 pixel. And if you save, as you can see that they are now in a row. So as you can see the icon is too much big. What I need to do is I need to resize that icon. So for that what I need to do is I need to come to the footer and social item this time, and here let's say that height will be 50 pixel and width will be also 50 pixel, and also say that margin bottom only 5 pixel for the left and right. So as you can see that we have margin for the left and right only 5 pixel, and we have our icon with resized by 50 pixel. So if you notice that our icon is kind of black and white, and when I hover it's having the color back. So let's make this hover effect. So for that, what I need to do is I need to come to the footer and social items, and here let's grab the image and say that grayscale. So not grayscale, it will be filter, CSS filter. So if you come here and filter, let's say that grayscale. If I give it grayscale 1 and save, as you can see that now our color is gone, it's only black and white. And if I make it 0, our color will be back. So for now let's make it 1, and when I will hover the item it will come back the color. Hover, and if I come and here let's say that filter and grayscale will be 0. And if you notice that it's working perfectly, but we need the smoothness. So for the smoothness, what I need to do, I need to make some transition 0.3 second is, and for the filter, and if I save, as you can see that we have transition and everything is looking perfect. So for the last thing, what I need to do is I need to make sure about our footer, which is looking good, but what we need is we need to make sure that it is white so that we can see. So footer, we have a paragraph which is actually our copyright. So color white, and also make some smaller font size 1.3 em. So as you can see that it's looking perfect. Awesome. So our website is kind of done. For the mobile, we need to make sure about the responsiveness. So first of all, if I make it bigger, as you can see that the text which is not looking good, we need to make it bigger sized. The service item is not looking good, we need to make it in a row instead of column. So also as you can see that our project is not looking good at all. So let's make responsiveness. So first of all, let's come to the tablet size, and if I come here and let's say that let's make a comment, media query for tablet. So if I come here and let me duplicate it, so this one will be for ant, and here let's create our media query, media only screen, and mean height, not height, mean width of about 768 pixel. So that's for our mobile, so not mobile, that's for our tablet. So for the tablet, what I need to do is, as you can see, first of all let's grab the CTA, which is the button. We need to increase the size of this button. So for that, what I need to do is I need to come here and .cta, and let's say that font size about will be 2.5 rem, and also padding will be 20 pixel and 60 pixel. So if I come here and save it, now as you can see that it's our in tablet, and the button is kind of bigger, as you can see that. If I come to the mobile size, as you can see that it's a smaller, and once I am in the tablet it's looking better. So also make sure that our service, which is that this text, let's increase this one For the tablet, let's say that font size will be 7 rem. Yeah, so okay, we need to make sure that it's have a section title. So as you can see that that's our service, which is looking much better now. We have this bigger, let's make it 6 instead of 7. It will look good. So fine, as you can see. So after that, let's increase this h1 for our tablet. So let's come here and also make sure we have a hero and end of hero, because we want our style here. So in the hero I will have a h1, which font size will be 7 rem. And as you can see that our h1 is now bigger, 7 rem. As you can see, it's looking much better, I think. So if I come to the mobile, it is smaller, and if I come to the tablet, it's now bigger. So that's fine. So after that, let's come to the service. Here what I need to do is I need to make sure that everything is in column, not column, everything will go to the row. So for that, what I need is I need to come to the hero section, not hero, sorry, service section, and make sure that end of service section here. And here what I need is I need to make sure services dot what was the class for the service. If I come here, service bottom, so service bottom dot service, and let's say that flex basis will be about 45 pixel, sorry, 45%. So flag basis will be 45%. So what I am doing is I am making this flex basis 45%. So in each row I will have 2 service, and if I save it, it's not working. Why it's not working? Services bottom, I think. Service bottom or services bottom? Service bottom. Yes. Okay, I think we need to select it with the, no, it's not working. Why it is not working? So we need to make sure that it's in the right class. I think not service, it's service item. As you can see that in the service bottom I have this service item, so it will work now. As you can see that our width is now 45%, and also make sure that we will have the perfect margin. So let's say that margin will be about 2.5%. so if I give it perfect margin, it will be, as you can see that in the each row we have now 2 service. So as you can see that if I give it flex basis of 45% and margin 2.5%, it's now perfectly aligned. And as you can see that in each row I have only 2 service, as you can see that. So that's looking perfectly fine. So after that, let's come to our projects. So after that, let's come to the projects here. Let's say that project end of project, and here what I need is, so I need to make sure that it will look like this one, as you can see that. So to make it look like that, what I need to do, I need to come to the projects and projects. In the project I will have a height of about 400 pixel, and margin of 0. I'll have no margin, left and right. Width will be 100%. Border radius will be 0. If I save, as you can see that we don't have border radius. And also what I need to do is I need to come to the projects and all project. If I am, let me check the class, what was it? Okay, in the projects I'll have this project header title, and okay, I'll have project item. Actually, instead of projects, here I'll have the item. So now as you can see that it's 100% width, and there is no border radius, and the margin is 0. So all thing is perfectly fine. And also what I need to do is I need to come here in the info projects, all projects, and project info. I need to make sure that height is 100%, and also for the image it will be the same. So for the info, for the image, and also make sure that it's now in column. What I need to do is I need to make sure that it's in the row, the flex direction. So come here in the products and project, flex direction will be column, and if I give it column, sorry, if I give it row, it's not working. Why it is not working? Okay, we need to make sure it is projects, not project. So now as you can see that it's working, but it's kind of coming here, as you can see. Oh, I got it. What I need to do is I need to make sure that I need to give the flex direction in the project item, not projects. So project item, if I give here, so as you can see that it's working perfectly fine. Now our project item is looking better. And if you notice that the even number, which is the 2 and the 4, in the 2 and the 4, which is the even number item, the project 2 and project 4 having the image in the left side. So for that what I need to do is I need to grab it with the nth child. So nth child, if it is even, I need to say that flex direction will be row reverse. So as you can see that if I come here in my website, now as you can see it's now row reversed. It's looking perfect. So if I come here, so as you can see for the mobile it will be like that. For the mobile, the cards will be here for the mobile, and for the tablet it will be like this one, which is looking good for me. So let's also come here in the about. If I come here in my end project, as you can see that it's now in a row, as you can see. So we need to change it. Now it's in column. So for the, so let's create a comment for our about, and here let's say that what I need is in the about flex direction will be row. So if I make it row, as you can see that it's now row, but the picture is kind of showing weird thing, as you can see. So we need to fix all the things. Also we need to make the alignment. So for that, what I need to do, I need to first of all, let's come to the about column left. So column left, and here let's say that width will be 600 pixel and height will be 400 pixel, and padding left will be 60 pixel. And if I save now, you can see that that's much better looking picture. So also what I need to do is I need to make sure about this border. So about call left and about image, we have this after, and here what I need is I need to do a left will be minus 45%, not percent, it will be pixel. Top will be 24 pixel and height will be, let's say that 98%. We need to make sure about top. Okay, so height will be 98, sorry, width will be 98%, and border, we need to increase the border size, which will be 10 pixels solid crimson, and z index -1. We do not need to change it because it is already -1. So as you can see that our border is now having a new width and something new position. So also make sure about the right content, which is now in aligned in the center. We need to make sure that about it is aligned in the left. So to make it, what I need to do, I need to come to the about and call the right, and text align will be left, and also make sure that padding is 30 pixel. So as you can see that our align is the left. So but we need to make sure about this h1. So for the h1, we need to grab it and need to say that text align will be left. And if I save, as you can see that now it is in C. So as you can see that it is in left, so it's looking better. So if I come to the mobile, it will be like that. If I come to the tablet, it will be like that. Perfect. So it's almost identical, as you can see that. So after that, let's come to the contact. So let's make the contact little bit more awesome. So after about, let's come here contact, and here in the contact, what I need is I need to come here contact and contact. Make sure that flex direction is column. So when you make sure about, so also let's make some padding of 100 pixel 0, so that you will have some space in the top and bottom. Also align item center and justify content center, and also let's say that mean height will be 20 vh. So that's fine. Here I need to make sure about the width will be about 100%, display flex, and flex direction will be row. And now as you can see that it is row, but if I come to the mobile, it will be like that. If I come to the tablet, it will be like that. So let's also make sure that we don't have any margin. So margin 0, and also you will have some padding of about 20 pixel. So that's looking fine, as you can see that. So as you can see that we have so much gap here, so let's come here and say that I don't want the margin. So in the item, let's say that margin will be about 20 pixel. So it's looking fine. If I give it 20 pixel, yeah, 20 pixel is good. So if you come here, as you can see that our card is kind of small, but this one is bigger, because as you can see that our flex direction is now in column in this div. We need to make it row. So in the item, what I need to do, I need to say that flex direction will be row. So as you can see that it's now in row and looking much better. And also let's make sure that the icon is about height and width of 100 pixel. So if I make it width of 100 pixel, and what I need to do, not 100, actually 80 pixel, let's make it 80. So it's looking fine. And also what I need to do is I need to come to the image. As you can see that there is some cutoff here, so I need to make sure that the image is object fit none. So if I come to the icon and the image and make sure that object fit is none, sorry, none, and if you can see that, sorry, not none, contained. So instead of none we can use contain, so it will contain that. As you can see that the image is perfectly in place now. And also make sure that it is 100 pixel, so it will look much better, I think, as you can see that. So also let's make some adjustment in the info. Contact info, and make sure that width is 100% and text align left and padding left will be about 20 pixel. So it's 20 pixel left, as you can see that. Also we are having now much better view, so it's looking perfect, as you can see. So in the bigger size like desktop it will be perfect, and in the small size like tablet it will be like that, and the mobile it will be like that. So it's fully responsive, as you can see that. So we don't need to worry about the footer, as you can see that the footer is good. So now let's make the responsiveness for our desktop view. So for the desktop view, as you can see that it's looking fine, the hero section, but the service section is not looking good. So let's make some change here. Sorry, so media query for desktop, and that's the end of media query. And here what I need is I need to make sure that services actually call right, not call right, it is service bottom, I think, service bottom, and service item. What I need to do, I need to make sure that flex basis is 22% and margin is 1.5%. If I save now, as you can see that that's all in a row. Oh, sorry, my bad. I need to make sure about, I need to make the media query first of all. So media only screen and min width of about 1200 pixel. Here what I need is in the about, so let me paste it here. So as you can see that it's only for our desktop. So if I come to the mobile, so it will be like that. In the tablet it will be like that. In the mobile it will be like this one. So it's fully responsive, as you can see that. So if I come here in my actual website, now as you can see that. But if you can see that the paragraph in the service which is not looking our like, so let's also make sure about this. So if I come to the service, where it is, in the service, in the heading, in the service top, so let's come here and say that service, in the service top, what I need is I need to make sure about the width of the about, let's say that 500 pixel and margin 0 auto. So each will be perfect, as you can see that. So no matter where I go, it's in perfectly placed. So let's say that max width. So as you can see that. So also let's make some change here. So in the overlay, let's make it 0.9 actually. Yeah, 0.9 is looking better, this overlay. So everything is going well and we made the website fully responsive, as you can see that. So it's looking like that, it's looking like this one. Okay, so everything is now done. One more thing to go, which is our header. So last thing, so let's make our header, which is this one. That's an interesting fact going on here. As you can see that when I scroll, we have this solid color, but when I am in the top, we don't have any color for the background. So that's looking so much interesting, as you can see. So now come here and let's make the header. So first of all, let's make our header for the mobile. So if I come to the index, in the top here, before our hero section, we will make our header. So let's make a comment header, and this will be end of header. And here let's make our code. So in the section, I'll have an ID of header. Sorry, header, and also let's make a div with a class of header and also a container. And here in the div I will have another div which will be our logo. Sorry, in this div we will have our navbar. So let's have a class with a navbar, and here I will have our div of logo, which is the brand. I already styled it before. So in this brand I will have a anchor tag where I will have hero and we will also have a h1. So in here I will have a s pen with this s and my name, and also have this s pen with a and also my name, not double a. So that's fine. As you can see that that's our name, if you can see that. So after this one, what I need is I need our nav list. So after this div brand, I'll have another div with our nav list class. So here I will have another div with a class of hamburger. So basically that will be our hamburger, and here I will have another div with a class of bar. So that's for our hamburger. So after this div we will have our ul. Here will be our list, and each list will have an anchor tag so that we can click, and this will be our menu. So for the first one, let's say that home, second one will be the services, third one will be the projects, and this one will be about, and this one will be the contact. So as you can see that that's our little menu here. So that's the code for our heading. So let's style this heading. So if I come to the style.css, so let's come here in the top, we will have our style. So let's come here, and before this heading, so before this hero, we will have our header CSS. So header section, also that will be end of our header section. So in this header section, let's create the style. So first of all, let's say that our header will be the fixed. So let's say that display will be fixed. Sorry, not display. So in the header, let's say that the position will be fixed, because our header will be sticky header, which will be sticky in the top. So it will be sticky in the top. As you can see that we can't see it because we need to make a z index of about 1000 or something like that. So as you can see that we can see our header, which is, as you can see that here. So also what I need to do is I need to make sure that it is in the left 0, in the top 0, and also it have a width of 100%, and not 100%, it's a width of VW, 100 VW. Okay, top 0. Okay, so that's fine. And height of auto, so that's fine. As you can see that in the middle we have our list for the header. So let's come to the header and header. So let's give it a min height of about 8 VH or 10 VH, something like that. As you can see that it's now in the top. So 8 VH is good. Our background color, let's make it a background color. Let me copy the color. It's an RGB color. So as you can see that we have this nice transparent color, if you can notice in the top. So also what I need is, let's come to the navbar actually. So header, navbar, we have to display flags. So align items, after display flags, align items will be center, and justify content will be space between. So as you can see that now here it is our brand, and here is our menu. So also make sure that width is 100%, height is about 100%, and max width will be 1300 pixel, and also make sure that they have a padding of 0 and 10 for the left and right, and that's it. I save. Now as you can see that that's a space between, and that's our header width of 100%. So everything is going perfectly. So after that, what I need is I need to make sure about the UL. So for the UL I need to make it something like that. Okay, so let's come here, and in the header, so I need to make sure, so let's be consistent here. So header, and here nav list I will have our UL. So make sure that list style is none, and also position it absolute, and background color will be, let's make a background color this one, and also width of 100 view width, and height of 100 viewport height, and left of 100%. So if I remove it for now, I will show you why I'm removing it. So also say that top will be 0. So let me, instead of 100%, let me give it 0 so that I can see. So as you can see that that's our UL now, full of our screen. So also make sure that display is flex so that we can make our content in the center. So let's say justify content, center, align items, center, and z index of about 1, and overflow x is hidden. And if I save, as you can see that now our content is center, but we need to make sure that our flex direction is column. If I give it column, as you can see that that's our menu here. So let's make our menu a little bit of more awesome. So let's grab the anchor tag here. If I come here and grab the anchor tag and say that font size of about 2.5 pixel, not 5 pixel, RAM 2.5 RAM. Okay, so font weight will be 100, not 100, 500. Letter spacing will be 0.2 RAM, and text decoration will be none, and also make it a color of white, and text transform uppercase, and padding of 20 pixel, and display block. Now our menu is looking much better. So as you can see that that's kind of this one, but we need to make sure about the hamburger. We will come to it a bit later. So after that, make sure we have this effect. As you can see that when I hover one item or one menu, in the background we have a nice animation going on here. So let's make it. So for that, what I need to do is I need to make a sort elements of our anchor tag. So after, and here let's say that content will be nothing for now, and position will be absolute, and also let's say that, and also to make it center, what I need to do is I need to make sure that it is top 50% and left 50%, and transform will be translate minus 50% and minus 50%, which will make it center. So I can say it because we don't have any color. So make sure that we have a color of, let me copy this color, that's RGB color. And also what I need to do is I need to make it a font size of about 15 RAM. So we have this big text here. So letter spacing will be 50 pixel or 50 pixel like that, and that's fine as you can see. So also make sure that z index will be -1, so we can't see it. So if I come here in the content and give it something like say that text and save, so now we should see it. So if I come to my site, as you can see that we can see it. So that's our text as you can see. So but we do not need the text in the initial step, so let me remove it. So how we can remove it, we can make sure, so we can make a scale of 0 which will remove it. So let's say that whenever I will hover the anchor tag, I will see it. So if I come here in the anchor tag, so in the not anchor tag, let's say that in the li, if I hover, I'll go to the anchor tag, and after I will transform, let me copy that one and make it 1. And if you now can see that that's our text whenever I hover. But I don't want to show the text. I want to show, if I hover the home, I want to show the home in the background. If I hover the service, I want to show the service in the background. So to make it dynamic, what I need to do is I need to come to the HTML, and in this anchor tag I need to make a data attribute. Say that data dot after will be home. So I need to make sure it for everyone. So let's give it for the service, it will be the service. So for the projects, it will be the projects. So for the about, it will be about. And also for the content, sorry, contact. So that's fine. And how we can use it, what I need to do is I need to make sure about here in the content I need to use attribute, and here I will use data after. Now if I refresh, so as you can see that if I hover, in the background I have our home, service, projects, about, contact. But as you can see that the letter spacing is so much big. So in the hover, let's also make the letter spacing about initial. So as you can see that it's working. Let's also make a transition here so that we will have a smooth fadings. So 0.3 pixel, so 0.3 second is, and it will be only for letter spacing. If I save, now as you can see that we are having this. If you want, you can say that 10 RAM font size, which is looking good. 12, 13, yeah, I think 13 is better. Okay, so that's fine, the effect is working fine. So after that, let's make our hamburger menu. So how we can make the hamburger, if you want to know more about this topic, the hamburger, I have a full video on it, you can watch it. I will link it in the description, how we can make responsive menu and hamburger menu like that. So if you want, you can check it out. So let's make the hamburger menu. So for that, what I need to do, so as you can see that in the HTML I have a div already for the hamburger, which have also another div of bar. So I will use those to make the hamburger. So here what I need is in the hamburger, here let's make the hamburger. hamburger. Okay, so hamburger. So first of all, make sure about the z index of 100 so that we can see it. Otherwise we can't see that, because now we have this ul which is absolute position, so we can't see it. So let's make sure that we have a z index of 100. So after that, let's make about height will be, let's say that 60 pixel, and also width will be 60 pixel. And display will be inline block. And also let's make a border. Let's say that border will be 3 pixel, solid white color. So border radius will be 50%, and if I save, not 55, 50%. So if I save, as you can see that we can't see it so we can't see it. So also let's say that position will be relative. So as you can see that we can see it. So after that, let's come here and say that display will be flags and align items, center, and justify content will be center, and that's fine. If I save, and let's make the bars. So let's make the bar, and here what I need to do, so also let's give it a pointer value in the hamburger. So cursor will be pointer, so that we can click it. So in the bar, what I need is let's say that height will be 2 pixel, and width will be 30 pixel, and also position will be relative, and background color will be white, and let's make some z index of -1. So as you can see that that's our menu hamburger. So let's also make 2 more. So those will be are the stored elements of our bar. So header hamburger bar. So first one will be the after, and second one will be the before. And here what I need to do is I need to make sure that content is nothing and position is absolute, and also height of 100% and width of 100%, and left what will be, left will be 0, and background color will be white, and transition 0.3 second is, and transition property will be top and bottom. So that's for our transition. So also make sure about the position. So for the first one, let's say that top will be 8 pixel. Save. As you can see that that's our first one, and let's also make the second one. Sorry, it will be before, and make sure that it is in the bottom. Now as you can see that that's our hamburger menu perfectly in place. So whenever I will click this menu, I need to have a transition, something like that. As you can see that that's 3. When I click, it will become 1, and when I also click, it will come back in this 3 bar. So for that, let's create a JavaScript. So it's a simple JavaScript actually. So let's make a new file of app.js. So to create a file, what you can do is you can hover this, as you can see that create new file. So click that and name it app.js or anything as you want. And in the HTML, let's add this. So in here, let's say that script source, which will be app.js. And if I save, in the app.js, what I need to do is, first of all, I need to grab the hamburger menu. So let's do the DOM selection. So constant hamburger is equals to document dot query selector, and here let's say that header, let me do it like this one. So header and navbar and nav list and our hamburger. So after that, let's also have, let me close this. So after that, let's also have the mobile menu, which is actually our this UL. Okay, so how we can select this? So in the nav list we have this UL, so that will select our mobile menu, which is this UL. So after that, let's also grab our header. We will need it in the future. I will show you why. So query selector, and if I come here and say that how we can select this, the selector is work like CSS selector, as you can see that. So that's will our header. So after DOM selection, what I need to do is I need to come to the hamburger and add an event listener, and here let's say that whenever I will click, what it will do is it will make a function, or it will run a function. So in this function, what I will do is, in the hamburger, which is our hamburger, in the class list I will toggle a class. So I will toggle this active class. Now if I save and if I open my Chrome DevTool, as you can see that here, so in the hamburger, just come here. So let me zoom it a little bit more. So in the hamburger, just notice that hamburger, when I click, there is an active class, as you can see that. When I again click, it's gone. So as you can see that properly. So that's the class which we will work on it. So let's come here in the hamburger. So what I need to do is, so let's say that whenever in the header I will have this hamburger active. So whenever in this hamburger there will be active class, I will do my change, which will do this 3 line and turn it into a 1 line. So how we can do? What I can say is, in the bar, the before, and also the after, top 0 and also bottom 0. If I save, now as you can see that, and when I click, it's now in position. When again I click, but as you can see that, if you notice, if I click here, there is a glitch actually. Actually we need to fix it. There is a bug. So what I need to do is, instead of doing this in one line or one style, I need to do it in separately. So let's say that this one will be for the before. So as you can see that in the before we did it 8 pixel in the bottom, so whenever it will be active it will be 0. So let's do it for the after. In the after, so as you can see that in the after I will make the 8 pixel in the top, so we need to make it 0 pixel in the top. So now if I give it, now as you can see that we have this smooth effect going on here, so that's looking good. So also let's make our hamburger menu, this menu, functional. So when I click it will come, and whenever I also click it will be gone. So how we can do that? We can do it easily. So if I come back to the JS, what I need to do is I need to same thing what I did in the hamburger. So if I duplicate, and instead of hamburger what I will do is I will say that mobile menu. So it will toggle this active class now in the mobile menu also. So if I save and come here and inspect, now if you see that in the UL, that's our mobile menu. Whenever I will click this, now in the mobile menu I also have an active class. So again, as you can see that, so that's fine. So after that, so first of all what I need to do is, if I come to the UL, where is the UL? So here let's make it 100% the left. If I make it 100%, that will remove the menu from the screen. So what I need is, what I need to do is, whenever I will click this menu icon, I want to make it 100%. So I want to make it 0 so that I can see it. So once again, so how we can do it? We can do it by active class, which I showed you a moment before. So what I can do is, I can say that in the UL, if there is any active class, the left will be 0. Now as you can see, it's looking perfectly functional. When I click, now it's like that. Whenever I also click, it will be like that. So it's fully functional, as you can see that, but we need a smooth transition. So for the transition, come here in the UL, say that transition will be 0.3 second is, and for only left. Okay, so now it will be perfect. As you can see that instead of 3, let's make it a bigger number, 5. I think 5 is good, as you can see that. So if you want, you can make it 80%. So let's say that for 80% I need to make the left 20%. So as you can see that now it's coming on 80%. So for that you need to also make sure about the menu and style it as you want. So for now I style it so that I can have 0, so it will look like better. So as you can see that it's working fine. So if I come to my website, so it's, if I come to my end project, as you can see that the menu is kind of a small. So to do that, what I need to do is, in the hamburger, let's make a transform scale. Let's say that 0.8. Now as you can see that our menu is smaller, so which is looking nice. Also let's have some gap here. So in here let's have some margin of 20 pixel. So as you can see that, or I need to make a specific margin right 20 pixel. As you can see that we have 20 pixel gap in the right, so in the right. So that's looking perfect. So also let's make this pulse effect, as you can see that around this hamburger menu. So how we can make this pulse? So it's very simple. We need to make a pseudo elements of this hamburger. So let's make it, and position absolute content nothing, and height 100%, and width 100%, border radius 50%. So that's fine. So what I need to do is I need to make sure about the border. So let's have a 3 pixel solid and white. So if I give it, so not 30 pixel, it will be only 3 pixel. So we have this 3 pixel. We can't see it because it is in the hamburger. So what I need to do is I need to make a keyframes. So let's come to the keyframe section where it is. Yeah, here it is. So in the keyframes, let's make a keyframes for our hamburger. So let's name it hamburger pulse. And here what I need is I need to say that in the 0% the opacity will be 1, and also transform scale will be 1, and also in 100% what I need is I need to opacity will be 0, and transform scale will be 1.3. let's say something like that. And if I come here in my hamburger, so it's in the header in the hamburger here, so let's apply it in the after. So let's say that animation hamburger pulse, and let's say that 3 second is, and for not forward, infinite. So as you can see that it's 3 seconds, that's why it's taking too much time. So 1 second. So as you can see that we have this 1 second animation here going on. If you want it to go more like this one, what you can do, you can change the scale. So instead of 1.3, let's say that it will go to 1.7. so it's going too much. 1.5, yeah, 1.5 is going best, or 1.4. as you can see that it's looking fine, this pulse. So that's it. I think that's what we need. And last thing what I need, we need to make sure about the menu in the desktop. I don't need it in the desktop. I need in the desktop the menu will be like this one. And also I think I forgot one thing. I need to make a hover effect in this icon, not icon, in this menu. So if I come here in the UL, here it is. So in the UL, yeah, whenever I will hover the UL, so let me copy this part, and whenever I hover, I want to change the color of our anchor tag to crimson, color crimson, not this one. So as you can see that it's working fine. So also make sure that about our desktop view. So see, so first of all, in the desktop, let's remove our hamburger. So in the header we have this hamburger, let's remove it. So let's say that display will be none, so it will remove this hamburger from here, as you can see that. Also let's change our UL. So header in the nav list, the UL, which will be the position initial, and display will be block, and height will be auto, and also say that fit content, so width will be fit content. And if I save, as you can see that that's our menu, as you can see here. Also if you notice that our after which is going on here, so also let's remove this anchor tag after. Display will be none. So if I hover, as you can see that we can't see it anymore. So what I need to do is I need to remove this background color, as you can see. So to remove this background color, what I can do is I can come to the UL and say that background color will be transparent. It will remove this color and make it transparent, as you can see. So one more last thing to do, which is we need to make it in a line. So in a line, so what I need to do is I need to make sure in the li, so in the header nav list ul li, and what I need to do, I need to say that display will be inline block, so which will make sure that our menu is now in inline block, as you can see that. Perfect. So also let's decrease the size of the anchor tag. So in here, let me copy this one, and in anchor tag, let's say that font size of about 2 rem or 1.5 rem or 1.8 rem. Perfect. 1.8 rem. So it's looking good, as you can see that. Now our menu is looking like that, and whenever I'll go to the tablet, it will be like that with full functional of menu. And in the mobile it will be also good, as you can see that. So that's fine. So one more last thing to do, as you can see that in our website, whenever I hover, so if I make it bigger, so whenever I will scroll down, so if you notice for now, as you can see that we don't have any color in the background of our header, as you can see that, but whenever I will scroll down, there is a background color, as you can see that. So that's what we will do now. So if I once again, if I go to the top, there is no background color. Once again I'll scroll, there is a background color. So that's what we will do now. So for that we need to go to the JavaScript once again, and here we need to write a little bit of code. So document.add event listener. So here if I scroll in our window, I will run this function. So in this function, let's create a variable which will say scroll position, and we can get the scroll position by saying that window dot scroll y, this one, scroll y, yeah. So it will get the scroll position in this variable. So if I say that the scroll position is bigger than 250, means if I scroll position is bigger than this, what I am doing, I'm doing that header dot style dot background, not that, style dot background color, background color will be, let me put the number 29323C. I think this one. So also if it is in the top, what I need to do, I need to make sure that the background is transparent. So now if I come here, as you can see that now our background is transparent, but whenever I am coming here, as you can see that we have this color. But if you notice that it's coming so much fast, we don't have a smooth feelings for that. So how we can make it with a transition? So for that, what I can do, I can come to the header And here as you can see that our background color, what I need is I need to make a transition of 0.3 second is for the background color. And if I save, now let's test it. So whenever I scroll, and now as you can see that we have these smooth feelings of transition, as you can see that. So that's it. So last thing, so let's activate this menu. So now as you can see that whenever I click, it's not doing anything. So let's do it something. So here as you can see that in every section what I did is I have this ID which is footer, and for the contact I have a contact ID, and for the projects I have a projects ID, as you can see that, and each and every section I have this ID. So through this ID what I will do is I will link the menu. So for the home, let's say that I will link it with the header. As you can see that I have a header ID here, so let's link it header. And for the services I have to link it service section, so let's link it with the service section. For the projects, let's link it with the project section, and for the about, let's link it with the about section, and contact, let's link it with the contact section. And if I save, now it will work perfectly. So if it is our, now as you can see that if I refresh, if I click to the service, okay, services, okay, we have a spelling, as you can see that projects is working fine, about is working fine, contact is working fine, home it's not working. Okay, we need to make services like that. And here as you can see, instead of header let's use hero. Okay, and if you notice that, so whenever I am clicking, it's doing too much fast. We don't have feelings about smoothness here. As you can see that it's doing so much fast. So let's come here in the style.css and make it smooth scroll. So what I can do in the HTML, let's say that a scroll behavior will be smooth. So whenever I will click now the links, it will smoothly scroll up and down, as you can see that. So that's it. As you can see, everything is working fine. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So that's it. As you can see that our website is fully functional, everything is looking much better, as you can see that. So let's also link this button with our portfolio. So here in the hero section we have this button, so portfolio, which means our projects. If I save, now if I click, now it's perfect. So one more thing, as you can see that we have this scroll process going on. That's the issue, the last thing what we are facing. So in the contact, what I can do is, instead of using something like that, so let's remove this padding. We do not need any padding here. And here as you can see that it's gone, but it's not fixed yet. So let's come here in the item, let's give it a width of 30%, and also let's remove the margin from here. So as you can see that that's remove the all that other things. And what I need to do is here, let's say that justify content will be space around or space evenly. So as you can see that it is a spacing evenly. And in here what we can do, we can make a padding of about 30 pixel. So as you can see that we have 30 pixel or 50 pixel. but it is spacing evenly, as you can see. So it will look better whenever I will go to the any of the device. So also come here and say that margin 0, so that it remove all the margin from the, and also let's make it 30 pixel or 20 pixel or 0. We don't need any padding. So as you can see that it's evenly giving a space around us. So whenever I am having a width, so that's fine. As you can see that it's looking perfect, this contact info. So all the thing is going perfectly well. As you can see that now we are in the mobile, we are in every. So as you can see, we can, what we can do, we can do one more thing. Whenever I click, I don't need to close it automatically. Whenever I click, it will close automatically. So for that, what I can do, I can say that in the JavaScript, let's come here and also grab the anchor tag. So ULLI, and let's say that menu item. And here, and last thing, what I can do, that's the bonus point actually. So menu item dot for each. So instead of query selector, we will use query selector all, because there is more item than one. As you can see that we have this 5 menu going on here. So for each, so I will do that item, and here let's say that item dot event listener, and whenever I will click it, I will do the same thing which I did with the hamburger. So if I come here and paste and save it, so as you can see that when I'll click it, it will close automatically. So let's go to the projects. So as you can see that we do not need to close it, it will close automatically. So that's fine, that's what you can do. So that's up to you what you can do. The limit is, there is no limit actually. Okay, there is no limit, you can do anything. So for this video, that's it. As you can see that we have this fully responsive menu and we have this fully responsive section going on here, and all the other thing is perfect. And here as you can see that we have facing little problem here, this scroll bar. So it is actually my fault, sorry for that. So as you can see that we are mistake here, we did something mistake. So it will be margin, so that's fine, and here it will be about max width of 500 pixel. So maximum 500 will be the width of this, so that will fix the issue. So that's not a big deal, but you need to know about it, so that's fine. So well, congratulations to you, you successfully completed this project. And if you make something similar like that with this project, please let us know. We have a Facebook group that you can join and share your project with us. I will be happy to see that what you made. And if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe for more video like this one. And my name is Arfan, and I will see you in the next video or in the next project. Till then, bye bye. Khuda Hafiz.